I haven't really done a live. What's going on with this? I know, no one's watching yet. Okay, so while I'm waiting for people to turn up, I must apologize for the liveliness of today's video because, as you probably know, I've got a million things on, which is no change there. I constantly overwhelm myself. And I had some conversations about this with people recently, and they said, why do you overwhelm yourself? And I said, well, if you spent a full decade being clinically depressed, you find things that work, and you basically keep myself busy because you don't want to be left alone in here with your thoughts. Anyway, there's still nobody on yet. I'm still waiting for the numbers to tick up. Maybe there won't be anybody, but I'll just keep talking anyway. So as you know, I'm moving house. So I'm in the middle of pulling everything down. The graffiti canvas up there has gone. And, I don't have a fridge. I don't have a lot of stuff. I'm trying to move everything away and give away stuff. And I sold my sofa, which was handy. Sold one of the sofas, gave another one away. Could Terry 2 sofas. Who do you think you are? So it's all been going on. But I have been beating myself with a big stick in guilt for not finishing the Vlahurg helmet yet, which is why Mannequin Skywalker is here. But this morning, much to my shame, I've put the crest on. Now he's held in place with sellotape, as you can see all the way around. The problem with these things is it's always hard to get the very end of it in, but it's as tight as possible all the way around, multiple layers of sellotape all the way around to hold it in place, because I'm using E6000. And if you know anything about E6000, it's great glue, but it's not super glue. It basically is very, very viscous and sticky, and things tend to slide around a lot. That looks okay. See, my eyes are playing tricks on me now. I'm hoping that's not. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, there's one person watching. Hello, one person, whoever you are. So as you can see, I've got the crest on now. That will be followed by a second crest that goes up and stops about here, sort of curls up a little bit. I've got an idea of how I need to do that. But I can stick foam to foam with superglue. Superglue works okay on foam to foam. E6000 is better for other things, which is why I've used E6000 for this. But it's coming along. Very annoyingly, it's a little white dot. Tiniest scratch. I want to repaint the entire thing. But what I think I'll do is I'll wait till I've got all the crest and everything on first, because there's no point in trying to touch up one dot. Then again, I could mix up a tiny drop of paint and just stick it on with a little cocktail stick there, and nobody need know. There's no need to paint that white square there. That's actually a good reminder of where to put the metal plate. Remember, for the horns that goes on here. Hi Jamie, how's it going? Had a great time at the convention. I wasn't expecting to do a live stream either, but it's either I don't do a video at all, or I do this. So I'm electing for this. As you probably noticed over the recent weeks, my videos are getting less and less organized and more panicky, and I'm assuming that next week there won't be anything, but I'm hoping there will be. The convention we went to in Bristol, I tell the people about that who may be watching. The Bristol convention was Comic Expo Bristol, was a Bristol Comic Expo, run by the ever vigilant Mike Allwood, who's been doing comic conventions for a long time. This was a purely comic creator organized event. There was lots of 2000 AD artists and writers there. There was lots of small press people, lots of my friends, in fact. Shout out to Dan Harris, Jenny Clements, Sarah Millman, Jason Cardy, Simon Williams and Simon Wyatt, who are both working on a graphic novel that is endorsed by the estate and the daughter of Boris Karloff. And I have contributed a story to that, which is a prequel to my movie Bloody Students. Anyway, so they get to say that their mummy's story in their graphic novel is the prequel to my film that I'm currently filming. And I hate the way this is flashing, but it's the brightness because I'm out in the kitchen of creation. Sorry. And I get bragging rights of that the prequel story to my film has been endorsed by Sarah Karloff, the daughter of Boris Karloff. Okay, now live chat is down here. I don't know if there are any chats underneath. No, I think it's just the one. Okay, that's handy because it's very hard to do live stuff. I'm assuming, Dr. Mad Studio, that I'm okay. I'm not kind of coming up sideways on YouTube because I'm shooting it with my phone vertically, which I don't like to do. I should have done it sideways, but then I didn't want to end up sort of sideways on YouTube. I don't understand. If it doesn't work, I'll just rip this video, take it off YouTube, put it into my editing software, rotate it 90 degrees and carry on that way. Anyway, the convention was okay. It wasn't amazing because it was like I said, purely comic creator based thing. And that was, the frame rate is perfectly fine. Okay, good stuff, good stuff. Yeah, there wasn't a lot of families there, a lot of sort of Joe Public. It was mostly people who were really into comics. There were a couple of kids there and a couple of youngsters, a couple of students. And we did the usual prize draw raffle type thing where we had a bag of tickets, some saying win, some saying lose, and you pick a ticket out. And if you win, you get a prize. And we decided to give away prizes, basically, not give them away, but you choose which prize you want. Instead of saying you've won this number, so you get this prize, it's like you pick what you want. We got rid of some of those. We made around 30 quid. We did have to pay petrol money out of that, which was only a fiver. But in all, it was, it was a chance for me. Yeah, it was indoors. It was free tea and coffee. I talked to a lot of people about the film, and it was a good chance for me and Sean from Candy Jar, who's my kind of main employer, and Justin from Farsight Films, who's working on the movie for me. It's a chance for us all to get together because we have all three of us got together for a long time, like the witches from Macbeth. And yeah, it was a nice day out basically, and it was a lovely day, and we managed to get home by about 5 o'clock-ish, 6 o'clock-ish. And yeah, I mean, I was talking to students who thought the film was a great idea. I talked to a really nice old lady who must have been in her late 80s, really liked the idea of the film. She goes, well, I haven't got much, but here's £2 towards your film and good luck to you. And she didn't sound like that. But no, she was great, and it was nice to see someone supportive. I mean, last time we did a comic convention style event, I had a little boy bounce up who bought a load of tickets because he was interested, and his mother came along and said, what's all this about? And she really didn't like the idea of the film, and she's like, oh, well, I'm not too happy about this. And the kid won like a Nerf gun that I painted up. She goes, I don't like the fact that he's won a gun. I said, well, tell you what, give me the gun back and I'll pick another prize. No, it's fine. But I don't like this type of film. And I said, okay, well, do you want a refund? No. But I don't like this type of film. I was like, what do you want from me? On one hand, she was there to like trying to make a point that she didn't like guns. I was like, fine, fair enough. Not everyone does. And I don't like guns either, especially on the other side of the pond. But no, it's like she was not willing to let me help resolve the situation in any way, as long as she got stood there and give me a little bit of a lecture on how she doesn't like horror films. I'm like, big deal. This ain't a horror film, really. It's a comedy. It's more like Scooby-Doo. Anyway, I'm not going to go too long on this video. We're coming up to 10 minutes. I may go up to 20. As I say, only one watcher at the moment. That's Dr. Mad Studio. But we did have a nice time. And I do have a lot of messages popping up from Facebook at the moment because we're trying to work out a second block of filming already. But this is going to take place, I would say, it's looking at late February, the second half of February next year, which I hope will coincide with a new crowdfunding campaign. Why have I got all this headroom? I'm going to try and push this down a little bit. Hang on. I'm breaking it. See, everyone's commenting on Facebook. I can just see these things popping up, but that's a bit better. Yeah, so I'm doing the Ahsoka now. That's acting. No, so now we're back to loads of headroom. You can't win. Yeah. So what was I going to say? Yeah. Looks like end of February we're going to be doing some kind of crowdfunding thing because we do need money to operate on. The shoot that we did recently took a lot of money out of the kitty for crew hire, actors traveling expenses, effects, props, and venue hire. And the venue hire cost a lot of money, but the venue have been good to me and said, if I can get my dates in for next year quite quickly, they can pull some strings for me and hopefully we'll get a much better deal on the venue. It may even be free, but I'm not putting words into their mouth. Anyway, that would be good. That would save us some time. But making films is not cheap. And, it's one of these things I've noticed. If you have a cast of really good actors and actresses, the better they are, the less available they are. If you want people who are completely available, you basically use amateurs. You can get enthusiastic amateurs who haven't done too much acting. But the trade-off is availability versus skills. And at the moment, we've got a very skilled cast. And they are, unfortunately, hard to get together all in one place for me film, which is one of the reasons I'm actually paying them. Not a fortune, not union rates. It's not a union film. This is basically a low stroke, no budget film. It's all coming out of my own pocket and my producer's pocket. And a little bit of fundraising that we've been doing up till now, but we need to do a better fundraiser in the new year. And I'm hoping the footage that we shot, last month in September, will be a good enough persuader once you see it for everyone to sort of get on board with the film. We've done one of the scenes with Paul Putner, our special guest, one of 3 celeb cameos, as you probably saw in our Kickstarter back in August that didn't go anywhere. We didn't get any money from that, it didn't hit the target, but we've got the potential involvement or the in principle agreement from Sophie Aldred. We've also got Nicola Cunningham from Shaun of the Dead, who's already filmed her cameo. I went to London, if you remember, back in the summer to film her. And we filmed Paul Putner. He's got 2 more scenes to shoot and he had a good time. And he assures me that he will be up for doing the rest of the movie, which will be nice. Otherwise, we're in trouble. Why is this wobbling? Sorry. So, it's all going well, but obviously it would go weller if we had a budget to operate on. We're down on our money now. We blew a lot of money in the last couple of weeks to do this shoot. We're going to go back to the same place. If you've seen the social media, we were shooting in a small room connected to the community center. We need to do a couple more scenes in there. But I need to move house right now and I need to finish, I can't say finish my day job. I've got constant day job work on. I'm currently working on 2 books simultaneously and a couple of other side projects, which I need to do. And obviously packing everything up and moving house at the same time is a wee bit stressful. So yes, I'm going to be wrapping this video up in a sec. There's not a lot else to report. I know Mr. E's probably will be watching this at some point. I just want you to know that this is going to take 24 hours to glue. This is the crest. I think my next stage will be to finish the horns. I've got to give the horns another coat of white paint. I'm considering shortening them. I was looking at the horns on this metal bracket recently. Let's do this here. So imagine that's on there. There we go. And the horns look really, really, really long. I have to compare to the photos. Here's the photos. Here we go. This is a very bad piece of paper now, what's left of it, but you can just about see. Oh, I know that. Obviously, it's leaning back, so it's a bit of a perspective thing. Anyway, we'll get the crest on. We'll get the crest, and I will be, hopefully getting this done before I move house, which gives me a couple of weeks. So, like I say, I'm moving right now. I am able to move things from one place to the other. So hopefully the piled up boxes in my house will go down, and they will fill up the new place with my clutter. So, yes, so that's going ahead. Filming second block. We're looking at the second half of February. Fingers crossed if everyone can get together for that cast and crew, because the problem is, in an ideal world, everything would be scheduled. You book everyone and you tell them these are the dates and it's scheduled. Unfortunately, life gets in the way. So you've got a venue that you need to book the dates of the venue, you need to book the actors' availability, and you need to book the crew availability. Now, any one of those three things messes up, you don't have a shoot. If you can't get the venue, then you've got actors and crew, but they've got nowhere to shoot. If you've got actors, but you haven't got a venue or a crew, then you've got actors and you've got no shoot. It's like you've got to have all three, and it's very hard to get people together to agree on these things. And the bigger your cast, the more complex it is, because the bigger the word, the more complicated it is. Two more people watching. Hello. I'm only going to be here for another 3 minutes, so you can rewind and watch. But I'm just saying that the more people you have in your cast, the more people's availability you have to try and work out who's available for certain days. And as such, the shooting time gets shorter. It goes from having everyone available for, say, 4 days in a row. You have to do like a day at a time, which is not great, because when you've got 78 scenes in my film and we've only shot like 4, that means we've got 74 scenes left to do. Any further updates on Offworld? Well, as you may have noticed, or hopefully you haven't noticed, I accidentally leaked something a couple of weeks ago, and I wasn't supposed to leak it. It was basically, I thought it was public knowledge. Turns out I have to wait for permission from the distributor. So I quickly told everyone to take it down, and not that I'm going to get sued. It's more a case of I want things to be done properly, and I rushed ahead trying to share news. What we're waiting to do is, when we get the green light from the distributor, that means they've made a sale and it goes onto their main website. So when it goes onto their main website, it's proper public knowledge, and I'm allowed to share it out then. But all I can say is I've seen the new trailer that they cut for it, and it's really good. It's a really good trailer. And for me to say it's really good is something, because I've seen the film a zillion billion times, and I'm not exaggerating. And I didn't think anything could impress me, but they've cut a new trailer together, and it looks good. I was like, oh, this is refreshing. It's nice to see someone else taking it and doing something with it. There is a new poster and a new title. I'm still calling it Offworld because the word Offworld is in the title. But that's all I can say, really. I wish they'd hurry up and sell it. Anyway, by the end of the year, I think we'll have something to show. We'll be able to put the trailer up properly. Um, as far as where it's going, I don't know. As far as who it's going to sell to, I don't know. As soon as we know, I'll be telling everyone about it. More than likely, some kind of streaming thing. It'll it let's face it, it's not going to go in the cinemas, but it would be on an online download or streaming platform, I guess. And then it'll end up on the torrent sites really quickly, probably. Not that it's, it's like an epic, big Marvel movie, but at the end of the day, I'm proud that we got there with it. I'm bittersweet about the movie. It's not a terrible movie, but it's not an epic. It wasn't the most exciting and the most pleasant fun film shoot of my life, but it was the first time I kind of directed something. And like Quentin Tarantino says, the best film school is to get out and make a film yourself. And I had a crash course in what to do and what not to do. And this time around with Bloody Students, people, I know what I'm doing, and now I feel like I'm directing properly, and I feel that things are coming together because I know how to steer the entire production the way I want it, and it feels proper, Still working on absolute peanuts and flying by the seat of my pants, but it's, it's a much more together, a much more kind of organized and sensible and professional, because frankly, the last film was not very well organized. People did their best, but it wasn't that professional. And there wasn't that much sensibility going on. We were all very excited and we all did our best. I'm not going to say that people sort of slacked or anything. Everyone worked pretty hard on that film. But it was a learning experience for all of us. Even the crew hadn't done a feature before. I certainly hadn't done a feature before. I hadn't acted as much as I had on Offworld, and I didn't even want to act on Offworld. I'm not acting in Bloody Students, by the way. It's so nice to just direct it and write it and do everything else without having to act. So I guarantee that whatever Offworld does, Bloody Students, when its time comes, will be a way better project, a way better finished result, something that looks a bit more like a proper movie, So anyway, I did show one or two friends the recent cut of Offworld, and they all said, "Dude, stop dragging it down. It's actually decent." And I'm like, "Okay, all right. Well, I'm too close to it. Yeah, you need feedback from other people, and I don't mind if people telling me it's rubbish. But at the same time, I said I was going to be talking for another 3 minutes, and I've gone into like 5 minutes. I really need to go. What's that? On the bright side, horror films aren't as expensive to do like sci-fi, and any mistakes you made on Offworld can be improved upon with Bloody Students. Yes and no. Yes, any mistakes have been improved upon already, and like I said, I've learned from all my mistakes from the past. But horror films, this one is more expensive. It's definitely more expensive. Not just because I'm paying the actors, but if I wasn't paying the actors, I've still spent a lot more on costumes, props, and location. With Offworld, it was some CG, some model making, some costumes, and filming outdoors in a place for free. But this film is a lot more expensive. No, and we're not talking millions. It's still peanuts. It's still a very low budget film. But we're looking in. I mean, Offworld. We had about 9,000 from Kickstarter, plus a little bit more fundraising and some more fundraising at the end to get sound mix done and stuff. That was something like probably another $2,000. So that's 11. Plus my money probably went into about 12 grand, 12.5 grand. It's still a lot of money. Now we haven't spent 12 grand on Bloody Students yet, but I would say we're getting there already, and we've only done 4 scenes. And I haven't got a problem with that. It's a pain having to try and raise money, and put my own money into it as much as possible, and working on all the props and costumes and phoning people and hiring actors and hiring locations and stuff myself to save money. But I think it's going the right way. It's looking better. It's feeling a lot better. I think, like I say, the end product is going to be well worth it, and the distributors are going to love it. They love the idea of it. I think it'll be a nice little cult classic. But compared to Waffle, I know what you mean about sci-fi being more expensive. I mean, if I was doing a sci-fi after Bloody Students, it would be very expensive, because it'd be like, within spaceships and, prosthetics and animatronics and all that kind of stuff, because I'd want to do a proper epic. But Offworld itself was the bare minimum sci-fi story we could tell, people outdoors with very few special effects, just costumes and a lot of acting. So we'll see how it goes. Right, we're into 26 minutes apparently. So anyway, that's it for this week. I do apologize for the shonky vertical video and the fact that there's no editing, there's no music, there's no anything else. But it's just an update. And as I said, the helmet is still underway. I'm hoping to get that finished before I move. And I reckon the next few videos obviously will cover this, but they will also be covering the run-up to the end of the year, what's happening with Bloody Students and the new film. And I will, yes, thank you, Jamie, I will do my best to keep up the good work, and we'll see how it goes. So until next week, take care now. Bye-bye then. And how do we end this video? You press that, I guess. Okay, bye-bye.